The breathing has been used throughout centuries in many, many different cultures as one of the most powerful means to change consciousness. In many, many different ways. You can do all kinds of things with your breathing to change your consciousness. So some of those ways are very extreme. For example, the original baptism, as it was practiced by the Essenes, involved actually 4 or 5 people taking the initiate to the river and holding the head under water until they came close to death and then surfacing them. You can change your consciousness by breathing faster. You can change your consciousness by withholding breath or alternating those two. And there are also very refined, very subtle ways of changing consciousness with breathing, where there is no change in the actual rate of breathing, but there is a certain quality of attention to the breathing, like in the Eastern spiritual traditions. In Zen, for example, you just pay very, very exquisite attention to your exhalation or to your inhalation. There are also in many of the Aboriginal traditions either breathing or certain vocal performances that change breathing are used to alter consciousness. The Eskimo, Inuit, throat music, the Kachak, the monkey chant in Bali, and so on. So we have experimented in our month-long workshops with many, many different ways of changing consciousness by breathing. And we have then found out that it's basically very simple, that all you have to do is to ask people to breathe a little faster, a little deeper, with this quality of attention, where you shift attention from your head, from the cognitive process, to your body, to your breathing. And after a while, that profoundly changes consciousness. What we see is, in many instances, a development of tensions in different parts of the body. In the medical literature, you find the concept of the so-called hyperventilation syndrome. The idea is if people breathe faster, they develop spasms in the hands and in the feet. This is called carpopedal spasms in the medical literature. And then also get agitated, and a lot of powerful emotions come up. And there's a tendency to see it as a kind of a undesirable thing in medicine, and various ways are recommended how you can stop it. Some people start breathing actually spontaneously. About 10 to 15% of the population sometimes start doing this spontaneously. Now, we have now done the work with probably 25,000 people, or seen 25,000 sessions, and we see that this is simply a myth in the medical literature. Many people who breathe will actually go directly into a very profoundly relaxed state. The more they breathe, the more relaxed they feel. They start seeing light, they feel connected to other people, to nature, and they have just a beautiful experience. But most people will develop some form of tension in their body, but it doesn't have to be in the hands, in the feet. It could be anywhere in the body. And the way we understand it now is that the breathing creates a condition in the organism that certain old tensions that are associated with traumatic situations, biographical birth experience and so on, or even something coming from what we now call transpersonal levels, these deep tensions start surfacing and they manifest. And actually by experiencing them, people are getting rid of them.